You really think layoff is all about money? No, the money panic comes later. First comes the moment when you realize the status that you had was actually rented. It is a terrifying realization that your prestigious life was a rented status. Before you can even begin to worry about the money, you're forced to answer a much more terrifying question. Without the job title, who are you? Now, let me be clear about what a life on a $300,000 salary looks like. It is not just about the money. It is a quiet authority you feel when you walk into any room. When someone asks you, what do? You answer something like a director, senior VP, a lead engineer. Your title is a shield. It defines you. It opens the door and defines you before you even say the word. Your entire day is structured around a feeling of importance. The urgent 6 a.m. meeting, the back-to-back meetings where your opinion is the one that really matters, the team that looks to you for answers. Your entire lifestyle is built to reinforce this identity. You live in that neighborhood where every car is brand new, lawn is manicured, your kids probably go to private school, a decision that felt automatic when the money kept hitting your bank account. You feel like you're keeping pace with your peers. The vacations, the dinners, the subscriptions, they stop being luxury and become a necessity. Your entire financial life is structured around a high burn rate, and all of this is justified by the belief in the future income because that paycheck is always going to come. And the story you tell yourself is that you have earned it and that's where you belong. Then one Tuesday afternoon, it all shatters. It happens in a 15-minute calendar invite with a vague title. You walk into the conference room, you see the HR rep that you don't know and your boss who suddenly can't make an eye contact. The air goes thick with the corporate jargon, restructuring, right sizing. Your role has been eliminated, which is a full body shock, a cold numbness that starts in your chest and spreads everywhere. You're not thinking about the mortgage or the school right now. You're thinking one thing. This doesn't happen to people like me. I'm a top performer. You were essential, weren't you? They slide a folder across your table. Severance. It is a dangerous illusion of a safety, a few months of salary that feels like a long runway. It is a buffer designed to do only one thing, mask the feeling of a free fall. The drive home becomes blurred. You're on a different planet from everyone else on the road. You sit on your own driveway with engine off, holding your folder, and your life just vaporizes in front of you. The first feeling is deep, disorienting shame. What just happened and who are you now? This is the real fallout, the part that is harder than any bank statement. The psychological truth is that for high achievers, the threat to their identity is far more painful than the threat to their finances. The first week is defined by a deafening silence. Your phone, once a constant stream of urgent demand, is dead. The entire rhythm of your life just vanished. You jolt wake up at 6 o'clock out of habit and then realize it hits you. There is nowhere to be. No team to lead, no problems to solve. You are no longer essential. By 1 month, the crisis is in full swing. You go to a neighborhood cookout and hear the inevitable question. So what do? For the first time in your adult life, you have no answer. You mumble something like consulting or being in between things, and it's a shame so thick that you can actually taste it. This is the moment you truly understand what a rented status means. It belongs to the company. You were just leasing it from them. You stop checking your LinkedIn. It's a minefield of people's sharing their success. Networking, which was once a power move, now becomes like begging. You're going from a sought after expert to just another job seeker, which is a liability. You're painfully aware of your own privilege, the nice house, the savings. You know that you're not on the street, so that feels like you have no right to complain. So you say nothing, you keep quiet, and you internalize this grief. This is eating you alive. The layoff actually exposes a brutal truth. You weren't wealthy. You were just being very well paid. Now, around month 3, the severance package starts to look terrifyingly small. The illusion of the time vanishes and it's replaced by one brutal number, your monthly burn rate. The fixed non-negotiable cost of the life that you actually built for yourself. That mortgage that once you signed when income felt limitless doesn't care that you were laid off. The private tuition bill is due. A commitment that you made with the future was straight line up. The lease payment on 2 premium cars, once the symbol of success, is now feeling like an anchor pulling you under. This is where you learn the brutal difference between the paper wealth and the cash. That six-figure 401k and the unvested stock, well, you realize that numbers on the screen is not going to pay for your groceries. You learn that in crisis, liquidity is the only thing that matters, and your net worth was actually an illusion of security, not a guarantee for it. But the most damaging part is the denial. For the first 90 days, you told yourself not to panic, not to cut back. You wanted the perfect next role. You delayed the networking out of shame. But that delay is, in fact, a trap. It is where the denial hardens into a permanent financial damage. The social downgrade starts to feel visceral because the friends who were your peers are now in a different world, still collecting their paychecks, and you start to feel invisible and completely irrelevant. The isolation at this stage can feel absolute. Shame tricks you into thinking that you're one thing that has ever happened to you, when in reality it's not. So have you ever felt your job becomes your identity, or you have to navigate the world after losing it? Share your story in the comments. Someone is reading needs to know that they're not going through this all alone. Now the turning point. When it comes to almost never a job offer, it is something actually much, much smaller and quieter. It's a conversation with a friend who calls for an advice, and you realize they value your mind, not your old job title. It is rediscovering a hobby that you abandoned years ago and feeling a spark of purpose, which has nothing to do with a paycheck. So on one Tuesday afternoon, for the first time in years, that you're actually present and mentally scrolling through a work checklist. That is the spark. The moment you stop obsessing over what you have lost and start asking, what do you want to become? It is a fundamental shift in perspective. You start to see the layoff not as a personal failure, but as a forced redirection. Now you get to build something that is actually yours. So rebuilding is not about landing a bigger job to claim your old status. That's just rebuilding the same mistake. The real ascent is in forging an identity that is a layoff proof. It's an identity grounded on your skills, not your job title. It is your character, not your compensation. It's found in the relationship, your community, and in a sense of purpose that exists outside of any office. These are the things that cannot be eliminated in a corporate restructuring. Losing a high-income job is absolutely brutal, and I understand that. It burns away everything that is not real and shows you what's truly valuable. It teaches you one lesson a soaring career can never. The purpose of money is not to finance the status when times are good, but it's to buy the freedom when the time gets tough. And it comes from knowing who you are when that paycheck is gone. Hope you understand the underlying message and act trying to figure out that true identity of yours versus the rented and the lease status that is clouding your true identity.